Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Time to talk about Super Sentai Strongest Battle Episode 3, the penultimate episode. This has been so enjoyable, I kind of wish it had gone for at least 1 or 2 more weeks, even though I'm excited for Ryu Soldier. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So, we pick up where we left off with Takaharu in the Gaisorg armor. He's taking out Marvelous. Marvelous kind of stumbles off. We follow Sergei still looking at the Super Sentai visual history, and Doggy Kruger shows up and they face off for a second, and then they're like, oh wait a minute, I remember you, weren't you at that party? And it's because they remember each other from the, I think it was the Space Squad movie? I still haven't seen that one. It was one of those movies. But yeah, so that's kind of a nice bit of continuity, which some I'll talk about in a second. So they just kind of talk about how they're both there undercover, like that's why they both agreed to be a part of this battle, to essentially be undercover agents and stuff like that. They end up getting attacked by a bunch of random henchmen from throughout the years, and then Sergei gets attacked by Gaisorg, and Doggy finds Marvelous having passed out in this weird garage corridor thing. Not weird, I think it's weird that like all these things are different locations and he's just stumbling through a garage. It's like, is it even a real garage? Is it a simulation? Or do they send them to actual locations to fight? I don't know. It's not important, but I just started thinking about that because I think about weird stuff. They have a little moment too where they reflect back on when they first met during like Gokaiger. I think it was during the Gokaiger series those scenes took place. Again, I really like that attention to detail. Sentai continuity, Toku continuity in general for like Rider and stuff is just kind of a mess because they're in the same universe Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but not on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's really weird. But I mean, they've done a pretty good job of remembering when they've met and stuff in the sort of time that they're in this shared universe, and I really like that attention, not only just remembering that they met, but like the character stuff that went along with that. Then Doggy takes Marvelous back to like Team Weirdo's base, earlier Kagura and Yamato, where they're just kind of wondering where the heck everyone was, but then they're just kind of talking about, you know, what's going on and stuff like that, and their plans, and what him and Sergei found out, and stuff like that, of that nature. That was some good talking. Then the matchup comes up, and it's going to be between Doogie and Kagura, and so they're fighting, and then during the fight, you find out that they basically agreed to have Kagura win, because, you know, Doggy's only there to be undercover. Doesn't matter who wins, they just need somebody to win so that Gaisorg will show up as bait, but it might as well be Kagura because she has an actual wish and Doggy doesn't care. Kagura's wish is to essentially just cook food for all walks of life. It was a nice moment, like, that touched on Kagura's character. I don't think it was quite as good of a reason as Yamato's. I still think the best reason was Pachiro and Ichigo's of just stopping all conflict. I don't think the wish is real. It's a very beauty pageant, you know, answer, but it's still like the best answer, I think. But it was still a nice moment, and it was nice because Kagura was like the strong one. I almost kind of wish that they didn't have her throw it. I don't know. But I kept waiting for her to do her super girl, or whatever she used to say. But she wins to bait Gaisorg. I can't remember if it was happening during this. It might have been a couple scenes before, but we did just get one brief look on another match that was like Gao Black and Ginga Blue and 2 others, but there was one other match we got to see. Like, that was it. I feel like we saw less of the other kind of cutting between matches this week. There was only one. But yeah, so Gaisorg shows up, and then it's a trap, and Yamato and Marvelous show up, and they fight Gaisorg. It's a pretty cool fight. There was a really cool moment where, like, Marvelous kicked Yamato's sword into Gaisorg's chest, but they like blow him up, and then it's revealed that it's now Stinger under there, and they basically come to the conclusion that, you know, the armor is like a sentient armor based on Stinger saying, like, you know, I was in there in its head, it's a sentient armor, I could see flashes of it taking other people. And that's when Marvelous decides to put the mask on. He's like, okay, you guys continue on, I'm gonna use this to find Luca and essentially, you know, fight against Gaisorg from the inside, literally. And then, also, I don't remember if this happened before or after this Ryu Soldier last scene, but Rita was having, like, really sketch, just not maniacal laughing, but just, you know, clearly evil laughs going on. And we find out that her plan is basically to gather all this energy somehow from the fight to revive Dai-Satan, or Dai-Satan as they call him, who was, you know, basically Lokar from MMPR, he's from Zyuranger. But yeah, like the last scene, or at least one of the last scenes, was, again, Ryuso Green and Black. They finally get a ticket and get transported to the battle, and then they're followed up by, I believe it was Master Red, like who was originally the Red Ryu Soldier. I don't remember everyone's faces yet. It takes me forever to remember everyone's names, and I don't think he was one of the core cast, so I think it was one of the Master Rangers. But yeah, that was it. Another solid episode. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as the last 2 weeks. I think there was some stronger character moments and some cooler action on the previous two, but this was kind of like the solid, like, not bridge might not be the right word, but kind of like the setup bridge to the finale, sort of putting some of the pieces together about Gaisorg, making Rita's motivations clear. Again, I really liked the moments with Kagura and Doggy just because it was another nice character interaction, touched on Kagura's character a bit. It was nice to see her get a bit of focus because I feel she's gotten the least spotlight out of Team Weirdo so far. I really liked Stinger and Doggy working together, both because of their kind of similarity in positions of, like, you know, law enforcement and commanders, but it made sense. And with that and with his interaction with Marvelous, I really like the sort of grounded character interactions that make use of previous continuity. Like, seriously, they did a really good job doing their homework with this, of like how the characters act, who's met before, what was their dynamic like, how would their dynamic look now at meeting again. And again, the story, like, it's nothing I thought was gonna have huge twists that I was gonna just over, but I think the story is straightforward enough, but like I was interested in enough, like, okay, what's Rita up to? What's Gaisorg up to? Again, pretty straightforward. Gaisorg sentient armor, Rita's just trying to bring back Satan, basically. But I'm really looking forward to the conclusion. It looks like it's going to be awesome. Again, I wish it was going a couple more episodes because I've really been enjoying this. I think I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again next week, but I wouldn't mind this being an annual tradition. Like, it doesn't even have to be the tournament, but just like this little, like, 4-ish episodes, like, break between the Sentai seasons. Because this has honestly, in my opinion, been better than a lot of the Toku crossovers in recent years, where they're usually just kind of a hot mess. But yeah, overall, solid episode. I'd probably give it an 8. Again, it was kind of more of an in-between leading up to the final episode, but hopefully next week's finale gives us a really strong finish for it. But that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, and ring that bell with notifications for all my Power Rangers, Toku news, and toy reviews. Dawson Ryder, signing out.